welcome back. And as we mentioned, the focus of this conversation is on a very special cancer awareness campaign, an initiative that is being organized by the Belize Cancer Society of California. Joining us for this conversation is both the president and vice president of this particular cancer society, and we're joined by Arlette Pilgrim and Ewart Flowers. Good morning, and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, very interesting in terms of having an established Belize Cancer Society in the United States, specifically in California. Let's just talk about how this got started and how long you both individually have been involved.
This organization started because of a young lady by the name of Nicolée Ramirez. 4 years ago, I started collecting prosthetic breasts. I sell online, and I came across these breasts. They were $300 each, and I was able to get them at a much cheaper price. And at that moment, I decided that there's probably women in my country that needed breasts that couldn't afford to get these breasts. So I started just as a fun thing to collect them, and I didn't know what I was going to do with them. So the first year I came to Belize, after collecting about probably 20 breasts, I took them to the Belize Cancer Society and donated it to them. At that time, I really was focusing just on collecting breasts. I didn't know much about cancer, and when I came to the society, I spoke to Miss Laurel Longsworth and got an idea of how things are here in Belize. But how Nicolée came into play is Nicolée, I have a picture of her because she passed away in December. Nicolée had a tumor that was non-cancerous, and she needed assistance. And being in California, I couldn't believe that people couldn't afford to go to the doctor. So it took a while after hearing about her story that I really decided that I was going to try and help her. And she actually inspired me to start this organization. I was afraid to start the organization because of the financial responsibility that comes with it. And I thought that just doing the breast would be fine. But when I decided to start it, she is my inspiration. So I started the organization, and I raised money to help pay for her medication, which she needed to help shrink the tumor. Last year when I came to Belize, I came to help Nicolée get to Mexico or Guatemala to see about her tumor. And while I was here, Nicolée was having problems, discharge. She was having various issues. And we took her to the doctor, and we found out that Nicolée had cervical cancer. But we knew Nicolée had cervical cancer a year before. The problem is that the doctor that diagnosed her in Mexico sent the information to a doctor here in Belize, and after a second testing, Nicolée was misdiagnosed and told that they didn't see any cancer. My issue with that is that why didn't we do a third test to see if it's true? So Nicolée never worked. She didn't work. She didn't have any money. She was poor. And, you know, it's in my heart that we need to do all that we can to help as many people as possible. And so this year, in December last year, Nicolée passed away, and I was thinking of what's the best way that I can encourage other women to learn more about preventing this preventable disease. And I wanted to find a way that would be different and hopefully open their eyes to the fact that here in Belize, they're limited, and they're actually going to die if they don't do preventative things to stop this from happening. So that is how this all started.
Yeah. And how did you get on board, Ewart?
Well, I knew Miss Pilgrim from many years.
15.
Yes. Yeah, so, you know, we always would talk, and Nicolée is my niece, so it's personal.
Now, you have decided, and you spoke about the prosthetic breast. These are what you're talking about?
Yes.
And these are inserts to use once you've had a mastectomy?
Yes, so there's different types, and there's different companies,
sizes.
and if you notice, the backs are all different. And they're, this type is $300, but you have different price ranges for the breast. And they're really soft, and actually if you rubbed against these breasts, you wouldn't know that a woman was wearing a prosthetic breast. But we also donate the bras that go along with the breast.
With them.
So
Okay.
if they need the bra, we also we buy them and have them available.
So that's one of the undertakings of the Cancer Society of California, to provide the prosthetic breast.
Yes, and we don't just provide it to Belizean women here in Belize. Anywhere in the world that needs a prosthetic breast, we'll send it to them. Last year, we sent 3 breasts to South Africa. And so if I find a woman on the street that knows what I do and they ask for one, then they can have a breast as long as, you know, they need one or a brassiere.
Now, many people don't know this, but that is actually one of the more challenging moments of breast cancer survivors. It's a matter of being able to do what you need to do to survive and stay healthy, but also many women battle with the psychological aspects of the decision. What have you found in terms of being able to offer this product to persons who've had mastectomies?
It's amazing what a difference it makes in a woman's life. I have a lady right now in Belize who I'm giving counseling to. She had to have her breast removed, and she didn't want to have her breast removed. She thought that what man is going to love her if she doesn't have a breast? This is her time to find a husband. This is her time to have a new life like she's never had it. And it took a while, but you know, after a lot of talking, and I explained to her that her life is way more valuable than a breast, you know? And there's so many breasts that I have that she doesn't have to worry about that.
She can change her size if she wants.
And if a man loves her, he's going to love her just the way she is. It doesn't matter about the breast. So she did have the surgery. And so what I do also is I try to help patients who contact me navigate, you know, around here in Belize, try to help them find a doctor who would help them, and you know, just speak to the doctors or nurses, or speak to the Cancer Society and see what help they can offer as well.
Now, when you're talking about reaching out to people and to get the conversation, obviously this is not Belize. For a lot of people, cancer is still one of those things that people don't talk about, and they're very quiet and private. So how do you get conversations started with people?
Well, I go on the streets, I go to Pickstock, I go to wherever I have to go. I don't care where I have to go. It's the people who needs the information, and I'm about giving them the information the best way I can. And like I say, finding these ways to give it to them, or any way that I can give it to them, you know, and just let them know that somebody cares about them. Although I don't live here in Belize, I'm always thinking about what ways can I get across to it's my people, you know, like I love my country. And it's beyond just waving my flag and saying I'm a Belizean. In my heart, I'm a Belizean, you know. I want our people to survive. I don't want us to be suffering anymore. And I think that there's more that should be done to help our people.
Now, you're talking about, obviously, the outreach that you had even to Africa. When you're in California, what kind of support you get from fellow Belizeans, and how do you get support for your organization in general?
We do have some funding that comes from individuals. You know, we do bake sales. We try to go out there and find ways to sell baskets. We do whatever we can in terms of that, and I do sell online, so the money that I get from that I donate towards things that has to do with the organization as well. A lot of people are very, it's new to them. You know, last year was the first year that I actually went out and publicly stated what we're doing, and I have a lot of Belizeans in LA that are interested in the organization. My mission is to get more people on board, and I really want people to realize that how we can do more. Last year we built a chicken coop for a young man I met in Orange Walk in July, and in November, along with the help of the Orange Walk Cancer Society, I told Badra Coleman that I wanted to build him a chicken coop because he was just at home, and he felt bad that he didn't have money to get to Dangriga. And you know, we were like,
he was a cancer patient?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
And we decided that why not give this man an opportunity to make his own money and feel good about himself. So we purchased 15 baby chicks, and the Orange Walk Cancer Society built the chicken coop, and it was such an exciting thing when I received my pictures of him with his baby chicks. So we try to do little things that hopefully is gonna. one hand wash hand.
Filling the little gaps in between. Yeah.
Yes.
Now you also, although this is dubbed a Cervical Cancer Awareness Day, you're also talking about prostate cancer as well.
We're not really speaking about prostate cancer, but I was able to purchase this testicle, and this is a baby testicle. There's actually a big testicle. So it's just that we want to have men participate as well, and just know that there's other teaching tools. And I really want to focus on the men. Hopefully in July or August, I have a plan, and I really want to focus on them because they feel left out. And I'm always hearing, "What about us? What about the men?" You know.
Now that was one of the things we were talking about before we went on air, about how men oftentimes can be squeamish about these type of things, but we really just have to tell them to man up when it comes to health issues.
Have to.
Yeah.
These testicles actually have lumps in them, so we are encouraging men to come by and to see how you check your testicle. I mean, you might have to squeeze it a little harder than usual, but you can find a way to test it and see that if anything is wrong with you, you don't want to be left out. And
so you can actually get an idea of what the lump would feel like with these. Yeah.
How to test your testicle. I mean, testing a testicle, people might say, well, man, it's painful and all that, and it is, but you have to test. You have to test yourself before you get to a stage of that you are cancerous or something.
And you, even in terms of being a part of women's proper preventative measures, men should be involved as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically, one of the things that we are very adamant about is that the fact that cervical cancer is very taboo cancer. It's smelly. It's it's like it's their fault. All those things and so on. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to tell women that feel comfortable speaking about it, and you talk to your friends, encourage each other to go and take your pap smears, and other test yourselves regularly.
Yeah. And
this actually speaks to before we get cancer. It's a preventative awareness campaign, because if we get cancer, then you usually have a grim prognosis. In Belize, they don't have effective care and all this. So we are speaking to the fact that women could check their discharge. Discharge is natural for women, and the name of the campaign is Not Clear, Get Check. Basically, it's the idea back of that is that women have a natural clear discharge, and if
milky white.
Right, milky white or clear, and if it's not, then women should be
Go
concerned.
to the doctor.
And even if you get to a test that says you're not whatever, so you know that you have some symptoms of something, so you should get maybe a second opinion or even a third one, meaning that you should be more proactive about your health. Now,
it's interesting because you're actually meeting people in public spaces to have these conversations. What has been the reaction so far?
Well, for one, when you walk out with underwear and give them to women especially, that probably has a reaction.
Yeah, most men and women have been pretty shocked about the 1,000 panties, and it's more like, you have 1,000 panties? Yeah. I wish I had 2,000 panties, because the more women I can reach with this information, the better it is. So the reaction is good. I haven't had any negative reactions towards the campaign. And along with the campaign, I also made these leather bracelets. The bracelet says, "I am my sister's keeper." So I'm asking women to pledge their support to spread the word about cervical cancer. For every woman that tells a friend about cervical cancer, the signs and symptoms, they get a bracelet. And for every friend that they tell, they get an extra charm. And if you notice, each charm is different. This charm says thank you. This one has love, and that one has 2 hearts. And it's just a way for us to feel like we're connected. I want women to feel like it's okay for us to talk about this issue. Why should we hide, why should we hide and, suffer in silence? This thing is something that we have to deal with, and we can't be scared about it. We have to just be bold about it and talk about it. So that's why I have
bold
no fear.
Enough to give people free underwear. But key, it's not just to be able, because it will make people get their attention at least, but it has the information about prevention for or screening processes for cervical cancer.
And the idea behind the pad is you know, that women should check their discharge, you know. So.
Yeah. And even tips on what to do to prevent
Yes.
cervical cancer, using condoms, getting checked for HPV, getting your pap smear, and all of these, and how it's transmitted as well through HPV.
Yes.
Fantastic.
And along with, while we're out there with the underwear, we're also, we're raffling Victoria's Secrets. So, you know, we have Victoria's Secrets, we have lip gloss, we have the bracelets if you do the picture pledge. And, you know, we're just really trying to get them motivated to be open.
And you have the tools to teach people how to check themselves, both
Yes.
the breast and the testicles.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. And what I love, actually, in terms of the flyer that I saw, is that you're not necessarily going in the traditional places. You're going in the heart of the community.
Those are the people that matters the
We've
most.
been
Yeah.
to the jungle, through Majestic College,
Yeah.
those days are that, you know, we know that women are marginalized, and those are the people that we want to reach, because we know that there is a problem.
So on Saturday, you'll be on Mahogany Street.
No,
Actually,
no,
today.
today, sorry.
I'll be on Mahogany Street. We'll be there at 3 o'clock, and we're inviting the women in that area to come out and participate. And who can't make it to Mahogany Street, we're going to be at we're going to be at BTL Park on Saturday from 3 till 5. And we expect to get a bigger crowd there. We really want to reach all these women. I want to personally talk to them. I want to personally hug every one of them and let them know that somebody cares about their issues and someone's trying their best to get the financial support, anything possible to get them the service that they
So
deserve.
tonight we'll also be at the Baptist Church.
Okay. So you're
Lake
going
Independence Baptist Church.
today on Mahogany Street at 4.
At the police
At the
station,
police station basketball court at 4. Saturday at BTL Park at 3 p.m. And on Sunday at the Lake Independence Baptist Church at 6:30 p.m. So people can definitely come on out and get some very useful information and participate in your raffles and other activities that you have going.
Everything is going to be free. People get something when they come. So
I would like
even
to.
the raffle, into the raffle, you just come and get a ticket, and
I brought my medal because I wanted my cancer patients here in Belize to participate in the joy that I had in winning this for them. Last month on the 15th of March, I walked in the LA Marathon. It was 26.2 miles. And the reasoning behind my walk was to bring support, financial support to patients here in Belize who are unable to pay Dr. Grant. And that's what I mean by hand wash hand, because we need to support each other. So this is to all the cancer patients who were not able to be there on the walk. Every step of my journey was for you guys, and this is for you.
Excellent. Well, this is a wonderful initiative. We really hope that people will be able to reach out to you at one of the locations that you're at. You know, I don't think we can ever have too much information when it comes to prevention of the different forms of cancers, and also in terms of getting assistance to get the right care and treatment. Right?
Thank you.
So great initiative, and thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, it's to talk about the new commemorative stamp. Stay tuned.